Hey guys, how you doing? Jax here, joined by Matthew Higbee, creative director of Planetside 2. How you doing, buddy?
Great, man. It's awesome to be here.
Great to have you.
Thanks.
Great to have you.
Yeah.
Me and Higbee actually go way back. We were elbow models in Estonia together back in the 90s.
Yep.
So, but then, we lost them. Now we're Planetside guys.
Yep. Life goes on. Things move forward.
Life goes on.
Yep.
We lost a lot of good men out there, though.
A lot of elbows went down.
A lot of elbows went down. So let's actually talk about the game that you make, Planetside 2, because I think that's why people are tuning in.
Okay.
So first question, obviously this is MLG. You've been here all weekend. You've seen MLG in action at Full Sail.
It's Friday.
As you did in Anaheim. All right, buddy. In Anaheim and Dallas. So when are we going to see Planetside 2 in a competitive format, MLG style? Like what is coming to us?
Well, you know what? Planetside 2 obviously is one of the largest competitive games in the world, and we're trying our hardest to build out a really strong competitive gameplay mode for the game. And it takes a lot of work. Planetside 2 is a big game. It has a lot of features, and building out that competitive mode has taken a long time. So we've been working with our friends here at MLG on what kind of tools you guys need to be able to do your stuff better. I think in the last couple weeks, we've started to show off our esports map, the Nexus.
The balance has been great, by the way.
Really
well
cool.
done.
Really cool, and you guys have used it, Community Clash has used it, and that's sort of like our first pass at what truly competitive esports style Planetside is going to look like. So I think in 2014, you're going to start seeing a lot more features coming online, better observation tools, better tools for outfits to be able to rate themselves against each other and play cross-server against each other. And then I think we really are going to be able to see the competitive scene for Planetside 2 really start to take off in ways that, although right now, we have really awesome outfits that are working really hard, like Nuck and like TIW and like Future Crew and all these groups that are, really awesome competitive outfits. I think 2014 is going to be the year that they're really able to shine and really able to show off what Planetside 2 and what competitive Planetside 2 is all about.
Absolutely. I'm sure you're going to have a ton of outfits ready to jump on board day one. And, they're already on board. People are really excited about your game. There's such an energy level about it. Now, how do you see competitive Planetside 2 working? Obviously, it's 48 versus 48 right now.
Right.
Do you view a league of like 8 to 12 teams as the way to go, or do you think anyone should be able to compete if you can field 48 players?
Well, I think that's definitely one way to look at it, to take like your top tier team so you can, have these groups of people that you're following throughout the year. What our plan is right now, at least initially, is to build out outfit leaderboards. Outfits in our game are like the equivalent of guilds or clans in another game. So we have outfits, and we'll be able to show them against each other worldwide, which ones are doing the best, and we'll do invitationals. So we might end up having something very similar to that, where the top 8 or the top 16 or whatever are the teams that are constantly the most competitive teams, and those groups are always the ones that are going to these events. But we want to kind of leave it open and allow any outfit that really wants to be able to participate to, by doing a great job playing the game, by playing the MMO game and kicking ass in it, they can qualify to be able to participate in these tournaments.
Awesome, man. And last time you were on the show on the War Report a few months back, you had mentioned an idea of possibly taking a system where someone starts at level 1, and as they get kills, they sort of level up in game.
Yeah.
Is that something you're still interested in? Is it something you're working towards?
That's definitely something that we've spent a lot of time thinking about, and I think that it actually is a good way for us to do the actual match of the game. So you have this whole story about like how players are building their characters up, very similar to Dota, like what we were just watching, right?
Yeah.
So much of what makes that entertaining is what are these characters going to build towards? What is the strategy that they're trying to actually work together towards doing? So similarly in Planetside, we could absolutely do something like that by having characters have to unlock their items during the course of a match. Right now, the way that we're doing it is letting players use whatever items they have already. And
right.
If you're a really specialized sniper, well, you have access to all your sniper gear. You don't have to really worry about that. You can just start off as a sniper. And that's working out pretty well for us now, but as we're figuring out how Planetside 2 fits as an esport, since it's such a different game than any other esport.
Game, but it's a fantastic game.
It's just a totally different kind of experience, right? So we're still trying to figure out exactly where it makes sense for us to be putting those type of features, and if it makes sense for us to have that kind of character building as part of it, or if it's more entertaining and more fun to just have players be able to jump in with their full gear and just start kicking ass right from the start.
Awesome, man.
And that's something that we'll work with you guys on figuring out. We'll work with our community who's watching this stuff on what do they like and what do they want to do. In general, our whole team and our whole philosophy is built around listening to our community, figuring out what our players want out of the game, and that's going to be the same thing with the esports mode. What kind of features do you, the competitive gaming community, want to see in a game like Planetside 2? What makes it a better viewership experience? That's the kind of stuff that we're going to build.
One thing I think you guys do very well at Planetside 2, better than almost any game I've ever seen, is listening to your community and taking feedback and then implementing that feedback directly in your game. How important is community feedback, even general forum feedback, to the development team?
Well, Chuck, it's very important to us. We actually spend a lot of time trying to cultivate that kind of feedback, and we actually do our best to make sure that as many different avenues of feedback are available to players as possible. So we have a tool called the roadmap, for instance. You can go to planetside2.com/roadmap. Right now it's empty. There's not a lot of stuff in there, but the idea behind that whole tool is for players to be able to get a better understanding of what features are coming to the game. And as an MMO developer, this is awesome, right? Because as a game designer, you don't really know what type of stuff your players are going to love until it's in the game. So with the roadmap, it's great. We can actually have a feature listed on there and get a whole bunch of feedback from our players about what type of things they're worried about with that feature, what type of stuff they're excited about with that feature, and make sure that we're delivering exactly what they want. So yeah, community feedback, very, very important to us, and fostering as good of a relationship as possible with our community is super important to us.
Awesome, man. And the one thing you guys have been super, super focused on is optimization.
Yeah.
How is that going? Give us some updates. What is going on in the labs over there at SOE?
It's going really well. So we actually were working on a big optimization build internally. We had almost the entire team working towards it. Level designers were working on making our levels slimmer and more lean so that they don't use up as much memory. Artists were working on taking different assets and kind of trimming them down a little bit without ruining any kind of visual fidelity to try to make them a little bit, easier to have all these players on your screen at once with all their different customizations and stuff. So this has been a huge effort. It's taken thousands of man-hours of work to be able to get there. And we have a build right now that we're looking at internally. Hopefully we'll have it on the public test server within the next few days.
Wow, a few days. That's awesome.
Hopefully. We'll see. And our plan right now is to have it on live on 10/30, which is about 2 weeks from now.
Oh, very cool. So you guys are just rolling it right out. You feel pretty confident in it.
Well, we'll have it on test server, and if anything goes wrong, we'll have it on there for longer. But our goal is to have it up on test server basically ASAP. We've just gotten to the point where we've been doing a ton of internal testing. We're feeling confident with the stability. We don't like pushing builds right before a weekend, so we're not doing it right now, but it's starting to seem like we're pretty close to being able to get it up there. And we're seeing pretty enormous improvements. I mean, anywhere from like 40 to 80% frame rate improvement.
Wow, that's gigantic.
My machine's like a i7 920 with a GTX 580, for instance, and I was seeing 40% to 90% frame rate improvements in different areas on Indar.
That's absolutely fantastic.
That was as of yesterday. And this is just our first pass. We're going to be working on multiple passes of this kind of optimization. We obviously want the game to run as well as possible and have the best gameplay experience possible on as many different machines as we can possibly get. So that's really our goal. That's what we're working towards. And, we're going to keep working towards it until we get it done.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly, you've been here all day. Obviously, we've been hanging out at MLG. I've had the pleasure of spending an entire day with Matthew Higbee, which you have no idea what that's like. It's awesome.
It's cool.
And you've been able to check out Dota 2, sort of experience MLG. You've been to MLGs before. Mm-hmm. Have you had a good time, man?
Yeah, I've had a great time. This is a cool event, really awesome. The Full Sail people have been really, really cool for us. And being able to have a whole day watching Dota has been really kick-ass. I've really enjoyed it. I thought that the matches today were fantastic, and it was great. It was cool to see.
Are we growing the hair out again? Is that what we're doing? Are we?
You know what?
It
keeps coming.
It keeps coming, and you're not stopping it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know what to do.
All right, guys. Well, Higbee, thank you so much for being on our show, coming to MLG. It's
buddy.
truly an honor. God damn it. And guys, tune into the War Report every weekend on MLG.tv. And for you Dota fans, we have a huge announcement about Columbus that we're going to roll now. Guys, I am Jax, @ThatGuyJax on Twitter, and I will see you in Columbus.